Hey, Flo here with another adventure, aka surprise nugget. That's what I'm gonna call this one. I was heading toward the next destination and saw yet another large pile of rocks that I wasn't planning to explore, but now I am, because it's kind of significant looking. This should be another short one, unless I choose to just continue the recording. But I think I'll do some, like I was saying before, short ones mixed with long ones. A little bit of variety. This might be too small of a crack to get in, but I'll give it a shot. The lenses on a 360 camera stick out like Christmas balls, or just submarine windows. I don't know what to call them, but so very easy to scratch if I'm not careful. There's another little hole to explore over here. It's got some interesting rock shapes in there. Sort of rethinking my strategy of audio notes versus like actually typing them on my phone on the map, adding pins on the map. I'm gonna have some difficulties reconciling everything later, but I don't know. Okay, so I'm gonna call this mound up here. Oh boy, I better look at my phone. I'm gonna actually mark this one. I think it's 1333, but I don't know. Okay, so let's get kind of on the top here. Or maybe right here, so I get a decent view. Strangely, I'm not, that's weird, on the LiDAR map, I'm not actually on the highest point, but I can't see around me anything that looks higher than this. I think my GPS is just inaccurate or something. I was feeling very slippery on there all of a sudden, so I don't know, let's get a better footing. Okay, so this is B1333. Now I have to decide if I want to keep the recording going or just do a quick one here. I think I'm going to keep it going because the larger, possibly more interesting destination I'm going toward is actually pretty, it's only like 400 feet away. So it shouldn't take that crazy long to get there. Plus I enjoy including some of these explorations in between, just showing like the route that I take and stuff. For me personally, that's just as interesting to watch or look at later. Sometimes get some really cool photos in these in between areas. This is kind of part of the same ridge. I'll call it B1333B, so that other one will be B1333A. I guess I'll fix that real quick. I kind of feel like I have to go back to marking them manually, but I don't know. It doesn't take that long, it's just, it's nice to keep moving. like to build something on my pack that I can quickly clip my hiking pole to or something, just so when I don't feel like carrying it, I don't have to totally collapse it. I can just clip it on real quick. Almost seems like there could be potential for some kind of magnetic attachment of some sort, like a strap that goes around the hiking pole and then another attachment to my backpack or something, and they both have magnets on them and snap together. It wouldn't be like super secure of a connection, but it'd be nice just to be able to, throw it back there real quick and pull it back out without having to take my backpack off. And there's probably some potential for that kind of invention if it hasn't already been made. Wow, there's a giant rotting tree over here. It's huge. Ouch. See, this is the kind of stuff that's fun to include in the videos because it's really unique. It's not something I would normally think of as a destination, but it's really adds to the flavor of the adventure, in my opinion. I don't know how detailed these plants will show up, but they look pretty cool. I could get a closer shot with my good camera. I guess I will. I haven't been taking that many pictures. It's good to take a few. Okay, so I need to go basically straight across this somewhere. I think there's a break in it over here. Sometimes I purposely choose the more adventurous route just for fun, but other times I look for the easiest, safest. It just kind of depends on my mood, I guess. Alright, let's make sure I'm heading in the right direction still. Okay. Not bad. I could actually go a little bit to my right more and probably end up a little bit closer to where I want to be. Maybe down the path of this tree. I'm actually really close to what I'm looking for. It's some kind of weird shaped crater, I think. It's what I see on the LiDAR scan. Oh man, I wish I could have been part of the discovery of LiDAR or just involved in the scanning and processing of that map data. I really like maps a lot. Ever since I was a kid. I possibly missed, not necessarily my calling, but one of my passions, I love hiking and the outdoors, but I also like maps. Had I lived, 100 years ago before they had computers and advanced mapping technologies and all the satellites and stuff, I would have enjoyed hand drawing maps, or possibly in the early days of computers when they were first using like things like CorelDRAW and stuff. Like back in the day, CorelDRAW was awesome. Like, I don't know what people think of it these days. I haven't used it in probably like 20 years. I don't know. It's been a long time. Whoa. Back in the day, CorelDRAW was like Illustrator is now. It was the best vector drawing program out there. I imagine it's still pretty good today. Might not have all the same standards that people are used to. Okay, so now I think I have to go down this way a bit to reach the crater that I'm looking for. But I might be able to ride this ridge a little bit further. Whew. Oh, I need to make a sharp turn. Way off track. Almost going 180. It's weird. My phone app that I'm using. I have lots of phone apps with maps and things, but the one I'm using at the moment is not very good at showing the vector of like the direction I'm going. Like, I don't think the heading. I don't think it has like a compass functionality really, because the arrow is like just not very responsive. Some of the other maps that I use change the direction like pretty fluidly as as I'm changing direction with my phone in my hand. It updates almost in real time. Okay, so maybe this isn't as cool as it looks on the map, but it looks like I'm right near the crater, but it doesn't look like there's a crater here to me. So maybe it's a deceptive shape on the LiDAR, unless it's like right down here. It might be right down here in these trees. Yeah, I think this is it here. Not nearly as prominent as I thought it could be, but still something to look at, explore a bit. So yeah, it's a little bit hard to see that there is a depression or crater down there because all the trees are kind of in the way, but it does go down there in the center. And I could choose to sort of circumnavigate it, but it's not striking me as something that's incredibly interesting. So I think what I'm going to do with this video is like I was talking about before, where I do back-to-back, stop one and start the next. I have another destination that is right beyond this crater. So I'll go down here a bit to look at these boulders, but I think I'm going to continue this recording until I get to the edge of the next destination, and then I'll start it up again. This is kind of, the next several destinations are almost linked together, so I could do like a series of videos where they're all directly connected. Oh wow, dude. Look at those boulders over there. Okay. It's just got a little bit more interesting suddenly. Wow, that's huge. I'll have to go check those out. Okay, let's call this B1334A up here, I guess. I think that's the next number I can use. See if I can get up here without breaking a rock. Okay, B1334A. Going back and forth between marking them on the map and just calling them out. Let me put that phone away, that's getting annoying. But it's nice to have out because it's kind of weird in this area. There's so many features that the ones that I think I'm going toward on the map are either bigger or smaller than they appear, and then something else comes up in between them, and so I'm like, wait, is this where I was going, or is it further still? boulders over that way. This is a cool tree. Let me see if I can get kind of a picture inside of it a bit. Excuse me. Yeah, so here's down there is kind of where the crater is, and then this opening to the south is where I was originally planning to hike into it, but I ended up coming from the other side, upper end of it. Whoa, that entire big rock is both extremely slippery and it moves, so I think I'll skip that one. This moss could actually be a problem for me, so I really need to be careful. But yeah, I think these boulders are gonna essentially join up with the next hiking destination. So I'll just stop and start it again once I get there. This is cool. So in case, if anybody's super observant, they would notice that straight through beyond these boulders to my left is actually the ridge of that horseshoe crater that I was on a few days ago. More like 10 days ago, but I just uploaded the video a few days ago, or one day ago, I don't know, whatever. But by the time I upload this one, it'll be several days ago. That's all the confusing stuff of YouTube video time. It's hard to know how long it'll be before I upload. I'm not really trying to space out my videos necessarily. Like for example, today I'll probably record 6 or 7 videos. And then you could say, well, we have content for like a couple of weeks or something, but basically trying to upload the videos as soon as I can get them edited to a form that's ready to go, which takes a while with the huge files. Shoot, I'm not labeling these, so I could throw in a couple B1334s in here somewhere, because I think I only labeled 1334 at the top. So maybe when I was coming, did I ever come down from that high point, or did I come around a different way? I don't know. But if I was up there, maybe I'll retroactively add a point to the map up there somewhere. Get to talking and forget about my mission of adding a bunch of points. That whole thing needs to be streamlined. I need what would be great is some kind of awesome device or an app, I guess a really good phone app. Something where I could just tap a button and it would automatically assign the next number and add it to the map without having to actually I just realized I have that capability, I think. Sweet. That's coming to a go with the flow channel near you. I have a smart button that I sometimes forget about. I used it when I was live streaming, and the whole reason I got it is I wanted a way to be able to count my soccer juggles. Oh, that boulder back there is what I was referring to earlier, where I was like, look at that huge thing over there. I kind of forgot about it and just passed it up. Should I go over there just to mark it? I feel like I should. Since I'm here, I may never come back here again, so it's good to kind of do a pretty thorough exploration. Although, I'm seeing a bunch of bushes between me and there, and I don't really feel like going through those. I'm sure there's an opening somewhere, but I'll just appreciate it from afar. You can see it from here. It's pretty big. I bet that's like well over 10 feet tall, just that single rock over there. It's huge. It probably doesn't look that big in the video, but I can assure you it's quite large. Okay, what was I saying? I don't know. Interrupt myself so often. Got some stripes on this rock. Oh, I'm seeing some stripes under there. That's interesting. Shows indication of some movement. Here's a cool hollow area down here. I gotta get a picture in all of these. I think some of those hollowed areas make some of the coolest pictures of all. That's why I keep doing them. Okay, we'll call this B1334 or something. I'm going to skip one just to make sure I'm not repeating. Let's call it B1334D. That ridge over there must be kind of the other side of the boulder. It's really tall. That's more what I was picturing when I saw this crater on the map. I expected there to be quite a drop off on this side. That's what the contours indicated. But I wasn't really seeing it till just now. Well, a few minutes ago. Here's another giant tree. I like this area because it's clear that it's not been logged. Is that the right word? Logged, timbered? No. Yeah, whatever. They haven't cut down all the trees in this area. Like a lot of areas, there's trees everywhere. Like you don't see clear cuts too much in this area, but you'll notice that there's a lot of smaller trees, the smaller diameter, and that just means they cut them down, you know, maybe 20 years ago, and they're going to wait till they get big again and cut them down again just to harvest them. But anyway, this area, I see a lot of huge trees still, which is really fun to see. It's kind of rare in this area. Okay, so let's call this B1334. Or so. It's hard to define if I'm even still on the same ridge line as before. It kind of took an interesting curve, but we'll just consider it part of the same thing. Yeah, like I mentioned the other day when I was in this area, so that big ridge over there is that crater I was on in the rain and snow. And interestingly enough, these boulders are going to join with the boulders that I saw on the back side of that ridge. If you rewatch that video, you'll notice that I mentioned some boulders on the back side, and these are either part of those, kind of forming a curve around where I came from, or they're two separate ones that sort of join behind the crater. Either way, that's my next destination, and I might end this recording here. Oh shoot, this is dangerous right here. This is legitimately dangerous. I'm not even joking. Let me think about this for a second. It's dangerous because it's slippery. So, okay, so this was B1334. Dang it, I'm losing my numbering system. Let's call it B1334F in case I hadn't assigned it already. Okay, let me get down from here in a safe manner, because this is actually a spot where, even though it looks kind of non-threatening, it is I can feel the vibes of danger. So let me get down close to where I can use my hands, get down from there. And I don't say that very often, because usually I'm pretty confident in my ability to navigate these, but I could see that was not a good spot. Not a deadly spot, but I could have fallen and hurt myself. all of this is mildly dangerous, at least, just because of the extra moss and moisture, and combined with the instability of the rocks that can fall off. Okay, I'm just going to sit on this one. I don't really feel like going up there. So we'll call this B1334G. Let me check to see if I've officially intersected that other boulder pile, ridge, whatever you want to call it. Oh. Basically, very close to it. Let's call this the end of one and start of another. Yeah, so this stack or ridge of boulders kind of in front of me, opposite direction of, if you look at me and then spin 180 on the 360, that, or basically where my stick is pointing up that way, is the boulders that were behind the crater. So that's where I'm headed next. So yeah, thanks for joining me on this one. I'm going to start this right back up in just a few minutes. I'll see you then.